Hi there. Took a little tiny break because I wanted to. Um, um, Sorry, I had an echo. I needed to turn that off. There we go. Okay. I already started the tour, but I wanted to stop and kind of make these into little bite-sized pieces for people who are considering plots. So if you found something in the first part, you found a number that you wanted, it could be easier to be found than seeing a giant 3 or 4 hour stream. So far on the map, we've gone over the south side and a bit onto the west side. And now I am in the main Horde common area. We're going to go through some of the rooftop ones. Sorry, the rock top ones. Definitely need more coffee. And make our way down to the coast, straight down, and then cut back up. And we're going to end in probably a part three where we go through the pine area, which is just stunning. And there's so many little nooks and crannies back there. It deserves its own little section. So right now, going over the very horde looking common area, the aesthetic is very quintessential horde, all the red rocks. It's beautiful. We're not allowed to build in this area. There are a ton of faux buildings. We can't go into most of them, but there's definitely going to be where you're going to have to go to get dyes, to get quests, to do well, this circle right here, to do the events that the whole community needs to contribute to. That's going to be here. So we've already gone over the sandy, green, tropical, lush area. So if that's where you wanted to look at plots, go check out part one. And see, this is where we're going to go. So the ambiance for the tropical area is birds, animal noises, insect noises. It's very serene. If you're near a waterfall, you're going to hear some water noises, but nothing too much. Up here, though, on these top of the red rocks, you're going to be hearing whistling wind as your ambiance. You'll notice that there's no music in Alpha right now. There's only a teeny bit of music. Oops, I got kicked out of that person's house. That's what that was. If you see that waterfall off in the distance, the thin one, there's a little cave back there behind the waterfall that you can go into, and there is music back there. And I let that run in the last part. So if you are interested in hearing some of the music that we might expect in this zone, I think that might be the zone wide music. I'm not sure, but it is a sneak peek as to the soundtrack for this area, which is kind of cool. So we don't have any music here, but you can hear the ambiance, which was always that background din that you have going while you're building, regardless of whether you have the music turned on or not. And that could be something that you consider when you're looking for houses. So what's the ambiance? What is the mood that the plot is giving you? And here we have some of the golden pines, just like this area over there. And I think it's due to the elevation that the higher that they went, that's where you're going to get this specific all these different botanicals because of the elevation. That's why they went with it over here. It could seem like a little bit off if you're flying around. You're like, wait, why did they stretch the pines all the way over here? But that's why. So somebody already has already claimed this plot. This one is number 27. Let's see if we can go in it. Nope. When somebody's plot is private, it'll keep kicking you out like that and just put you on the cornerstone. Let's see if we can make it to the front. You can change your settings so that you can let anybody in. Yeah, it's private. You'll just keep getting dumped off the cornerstone. And unfortunately, what that means is that as I'm doing these tours for you, I have to fly, high up overhead so it doesn't kick me out. That is a little bit of a bummer though. So if somebody has their stuff set to private and maybe they've built a ton around the outside of their house and you want to check it out and you're just trying to walk on their land to go see their beautiful work, it'll just keep kicking you out. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I think the exterior is going to have its own settings. I don't know if they'll change that, but that's why we keep getting kicked. So this plot is nice because it has this big round wraparound porch and you have this stunning sweeping view of all the tropical area and the ocean from up here. You can hear the wind whistling. And on the other side, you have a smaller porch, but here you get the view of the Red Rock Hot Springs area. I'm excited to show you the hot springs. There are only 2 plots off of the hot springs, so if that's something that you're looking forward to, you're going to want to get in there and nab those. You can see the hot springs from that green plateau over there. So that's technically a third kind of plot, but it's much like this one where you can just look down on it. But if you want to be on the ground right off the hot spring, we'll go look at those in a bit. So I love these plots because of the kind of fall foliage colors and big, long stretches of bridges. I mean, it's just very, very Thousand Needles. And if your main is a Tauren and you just want to kind of entertain that aesthetic, maybe you role play and that's part of your character and their identity, then you're gonna want one of these plots. Um, I love the stacked rocks. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And of course, the mountains. If you just want a full lay of the land and you like to be up high, there's they got you covered. There's several of these. So this one's just a little lower. No one's claimed this one yet. Let's see what number. This one's number 30. So what's special about this one is we have another small deck that you get to look over the hot springs, but you get more of the view being closer. It takes up more of your field of vision. And over here you have your own large one as well, more facing the green area. And of course, you have the ocean view. Being this close to the ground as compared to the other one means the view looks a little bit wider. You're closer to it, whichever aesthetic you prefer. This is another lovely plot as well. You also have a tower. So it's not technically on your plot within the fence line, but it's yours, right? It's here. It's yours. You didn't have to build it. You didn't have to waste your decor allowance to build it. There is nothing inside of it. You can't build it, but you can kind of walk up it and get to the top. Maybe you could find a way to work this into your role play as a part of your character. Maybe their job is like a lookout or something, and I'm unsure, but people are creative. If you like having this on your plot, it's technically yours, right? Who's going to use that? It's right off of your plot. Go to the next one. If you're afraid of heights in any way, maybe these are not for you. I like that you get to go over the waterways, though. I said in my last video, the juxtaposition of the red rocks against the blue water is just so pretty to me. Okay. This one is plot number 43. No one's claimed this one yet. It's got the ultimate ocean view, and you get to look down on that community area. That island is likely going to be a big hub for activity. There's no player housing on that island. It is all community. You can only see the building down there and some of the trees and such, but there is a lot more decor down there. They have it set up for a bonfire. They have tables. There's a little tiki bar. That's what that building is. I can see that being a very popular community hub. And if you just want to be in sight of that, then this might be the plot for you. Stunning views. Again, everything here is so beautiful. There's not a bad plot on here. I cannot say that enough. If you're in a community, because maybe your guild has one open and everybody has taken all the plots already and you're just stuck with, hey, you got 41. And you're like, okay, I guess I'm doing that because I really want a house with my guild. Don't worry. There's not a bad plot here. You just have to find what makes that plot special and play it up. And hopefully it works with your character line if you're RPing. But if you're just raiding or you're just a casual player, you're going to find something to appreciate in any plot on any of these neighborhoods. Truly, there's not a bad plot. That being said, you're welcome to get whatever plot you want on a public one, right? Or you can make sure all your friends give you the one you want. Someone's already taken this one. This is number 12. And we have really great ocean views here. All the birds, you can have fun scattering. Down there we have a broken pirate ship. On part 1, this is where we started our tour. So if you wanted to see that one down there, and you wanted to go all the way up into the tropical area, go ahead and check out part 1. This is one of the highest ones. The view over here is really secluded, right? There's not a whole lot down there, but it is really lovely. Lots of red rock. You like being perched above everything. Have your Lion King moment. Everything the light touches is yours. Get one of these, right? You're going to go ahead and fly over to these ones. You are not near your neighbors. You are not going to hear anybody's loud music. I think that's a plot down there. It looks like a plot down there. No, sorry, I've got to check this out. This is just the flavor building. It's got to be a flavor building. Nope, it's someone's house. This is number 32. I can't believe I missed this one. Okay. I think I missed this yesterday. And believe me when I say I was on alpha yesterday for at least like 7 hours just flying through both these zones because I'm just enjoying seeing every little nook and cranny. I missed this one. Okay, so here you have the bridge. We have a natural rock formation bridge, which is really lovely. This the stream parts of the water coming right past. And you have access to the fishing village right there. Oh, this is a neat one. Okay. And it's really secluded because there's really no player houses in sight except for the one up there. No, that one up there is not even really going to see you. You'll notice how clever they are in putting things in the way. So, like, even if the person who builds at the top of that builds a tall house, you're really not going to see it. And they're probably not going to see you because of the tower. Yeah, you like to be on your own, just like the one back there. This is a really neat little plot. So it's tucked away. Have this little area right here, kind of to yourself. There's definitely some piratey things going on. So if that's your vibe, okay, you can make your own little pirate house down here. Oh, I love this one. Okay, that's cute. We'll go back up here. So I have a couple of more of the top plots. It looks like that one you have a walkway down and another bridge, and then that is completely empty. That's not a plot down there. Oh, you have your own flight path up here. Okay, if being close to a flight path is important to you, then maybe you want these paths. Okay. We're way down south, and you can get back to the common area, the hub, to get your quests for decor. All right, you want your own flight path? Maybe one of these two plots is for you. So something we might want to consider whenever you're choosing a plot is how many people do you think you're going to be building with? If it's just you, great. If you've got a pair of you, maybe you want to look at some of these duo plots if you'd like to be close to each other. Um, in our last video, we talked about a little cul-de-sac that had 3 in the tropical area. That's really beautiful. And also a cluster of 5 right on the coast. That if you wanted to have everybody right together next to that one island with a social hub, that was really cool. But this is a collection of 2 over here, I think. Maybe there's 3. Let me double check. I know there's definitely 2. So this is plot number 22. Somebody's already claimed it. We have another tower here. Again, I don't know what these towers are going to be used for, but I really hope they use them because there are a ton of them here. I can see 1, 2, 3, and 4, 4 towers just in front of us. Is it kind of like back in the day where they had those towers and they had that one PvP event? I don't think they'll do that here, but yeah, that was back in old vanilla. Let's see if we can go inside this house. Maybe, maybe not. Nope, kicked us out. I think I'm the only public house who's building. I don't think people have found that setting yet to turn that off. And then, yep, there's no plot up there. There's nothing. There's just these 2, very out of the way. This is plot 49. And I do have to say, I know someone who's already taken this plot on their characters on another neighborhood. So let me explain that real fast. So somebody maybe has bought this one and you really want it. And there you can't. What you need to do is you go to the housing dashboard, go to Open House Finder, and we look on here and we go to a different instance, and you can click on these and find the home that you're looking for. So if we're looking for 49, Might have to click around, and you can see the numbers kind of jump around. They don't really have a rhyme or reason. But we found 49 on this neighborhood, Bright Tier Oasis. And what I would do is I would click visit, and you'll see the it says right there, clicking visit will reserve this plot for 5 minutes. So it'll transport you to the plot. Nobody else can take it from you for 5 minutes as you do your little tour, and double check and make sure that's what you want. And then you can purchase it. Now, I already have a house, but to move it is only 1,000 gold, you'll see. So the initial investment of buying the house, you don't lose it. You just have to spend that once to buy a house. But every time you move it, it'll be 1,000, which in WoW's current economy is like nothing. So don't worry about that. You don't have to pay full price every time you want a different house. But that's how you find the one that you're looking for. Even if somebody's taken it on the server that you're looking at, on the realm that you're looking at, just pick a different one, and then you have to jump to that one. So the person who I know who has this one really enjoys it because, well, it's up high, very secluded. You still have that sight line to all the rocks in the distance. It's really beautiful. But you have this, and it is pretty damn funny. This is the highest diving board in the neighborhood, and hope you clear that damn bridge, right? So this is actually where we're going to take off and go down to the sandy area. So let's go ahead and do that. Thank you for the tooltip. Wow, it's just fun. I mean, who doesn't want to walk the plank every day? So resuming the tour back at the sandy plots. This one is 37. Okay, what's special about 37? Well, you have uninterrupted ocean view, a ton of wave sounds in the background, so super relaxing, and you have this little dock. Many of the plots on this side have their own docks. Some of them are more fun than others. This is a pretty big dock if you like fishing and you just kind of want to be away from people and just experience the calm. And I'll tell you right now, this is where the sunset is. This is where the moon rises in game. So as pretty as this is during the day, you can't even tell where like the ocean ends and the sky begins. It's just so pretty. But the sunsets are beautiful, and you'll get to see that by sitting on the edge of this dock. So whether you buy this plot or not, I recommend coming out here and just taking a seat and watching the skybox change. But this is a perfect plot for that one. I did think about getting this plot over here. It's really cute. So you have this entire island to yourself, right? I mean, of course, you don't get to build on the whole thing. You're only allowed to build in your square, which, if you look hard enough, you can actually see a difference in the texture on the ground where you're going to be building in your square and where you're not. But this is really adorable because you have this tiny dock here with a couple of little boats, but it comes with a tiki bar. Now, welcome to Alpha. We have a mask floating in the middle of the room, but imagine that that mask is on that left pillar over there. And you have this adorable tiki bar, so you can host people. And you have a fire pit. Now, I don't know about you, but in RP, those are like that's all you need for RP. You need somebody slinging bar so you can pretend you're drinking, and and you need a fire pit for everyone to sit around. People gather. There are lots of little food places and lots of little places for people to simulate drinking alcohol. Um, there's a lot of beautiful ones up in that last area that we're going to get to as well that I am excited about, and I'm actually tempted maybe to get a house up there. So the tiki place, this plot is number 19. If you are interested in that, maybe you want to play your character as an NPC behind the bar. That's fun. But if you tell anybody you've got the plot, the island plot with the tiki bar, everyone's going to know where you live. And this is one of the plots that's taken first. So, of course, my knowledge set is limited. I'm only on alpha with about maybe 200 people, and at any given time, there's only maybe like 10 to 25 people playing at a time. There's really not many people on alpha right now. So I can tell you which housing plots are going fast, and I think that's going to be a bit of a microcosm. I know it's not a big sample size, but you know, I kind of understand why which of these ones are getting picked first. That one over there, the Solitude one with the sunset dock, that's been taken on every server I've been to. And the Tiki Bars one is taken on every server. So I will tell you which ones are popular on alpha. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to get it for yourself, because even Blizzard said if you really want a house, just wait for another neighborhood to open and then you'll be able to nab that house. But I will tell you which ones seem to be most popular right now. And keep in mind that because it's popular means you might have a lot of foot traffic. People want to come visit it because it's a cool, place to be. So if you want to be more social, go ahead and look at those popular ones. But if you want to be out in the middle of nowhere and you don't really like other players being around, maybe don't pick the super popular ones. I don't know, just something to consider. This is just flavor. This is not player housing, but it is cool to look at. And this is one of the buildings that you can actually walk in. You'll notice most of these buildings don't have interiors that you have access to. Most of the buildings look like this, but there are a few you can go in, and I hope Blizzard fleshes those out. So this just breaks up the sightline of the ocean, right? Because it'd be kind of boring to have a plot here and look out to the ocean and that's all you see. So that's why they add stuff like that, make it more visually interesting, which I appreciate. So somebody has this plot here, and this one is number 7. So number 7 has a view of where we just were. We've got sunset views as well, and just a view down the coast, which is just very pretty. There are so many beach plots that I think Blizzard thinks that we're really going to want these. So they made a ton of them. I also like that there's some large trees on your plot, and you are going to have a neighbor that you're going to have a lot of visibility. So there's really little to no change in elevation between these two plots. But do you see how they put stuff kind of in the way so that you're not just looking straight at somebody's build? You still have so much of the environment kind of blocking their build, because honestly, you don't know who you're going to neighbor with. And you could be next to some 10-year-old kid who thinks it's funny to build a giant middle finger. You have no idea who your neighbor is. Of course, you can report people for that. Actually, let me show you. Um, you are going to be able to report people if they are building inappropriate things, which I appreciate because, the world. It's going to happen. So there's a cog up here. You hit this little gear and it says report, and you can report this particular house for inappropriate decor placement. There was also earlier a report for inappropriate naming of the house, because apparently we can name our houses. I haven't figured that out yet. I imagine that I will be able to change this from my character name's house to something else. Maybe I name it, Tiki Paradise or something. Um, but if you inappropriately name your house, you'll be able to report that as well. This one's just a little bit inland. Let's find the number for this one. This plot is 51. So very similar views from the last one we were at, except, well, you have your neighbor in the way, but that might be really cute if you know, if you're building in a duo and you want to be next to each other. But having the water completely surround you in these little kind of tributaries is really adorable. Of course, we have a lot of salamanders here. The animals that are on the plot might be something you might want to consider if you don't like these little buggers, because they're grinning fairly creepily and could easily take down a goblin. Maybe you don't want those on your plot. Maybe stay away from the beach. There is some differences in the wildlife that you'll see depending upon what biome you're in. Like the soaring rock ones, you're going to see a lot of the flying animals, and definitely some different animals like stags and such up in the wooded pine area back there. Just all things to think about. I do really enjoy the wave sounds. So incredibly relaxing. It's something that I can put on another screen while I'm doing my normal work and just listen to. I'm also a huge fan of like these kind of swirly, whimsical clouds. They're very beautiful. The skybox will change with the time. I believe it's the same time that your game is set to. So for instance, I am streaming this at 11:31 in the morning. So we are full daytime. I did miss the sunrise. I'm not going to hit sunset until about 7 or 8, as was yesterday. I'm not sure if they're going to change that, but it does kind of match your time. I think it might be really neat if Blizzard were to let us choose what time of day we are on, because say for example, you're RPing with some Europeans who at this time it would be kind of evening sunset for them. Meanwhile, it's full blazing sun for me. And if I were to attend their nighttime beach tiki party, maybe I would like to change it to nighttime so I could experience the RP in the same time zone. Um, I am unsure. We shall see. But I'm not sure how much creativity or how much we will have any control over what's actually happening outside of our houses, aside from placing decor. Just an idea, though. This one has a teeny little dock. We're a little bit more inland. Oh, I like this one, and I'll tell you why. I'll give you the plot number first. So this plot we're looking at is number 6. I'm a fan of this one because you still have really great ocean views, perfect for sunset. You do have neighbors, so this is like 3 plots right in a row. Boom, boom, boom. So if you are building in a 3, this could be really nice for you, or even 4 if you grab the tiki one, or 5 if you grab the one that's all the way out in the end. So think about how many people you might be building with. But I like this one because you have a view of the little fishing village over here. And if you are a fan of Jaws like I am, you're happy to see a hanging Bruce. Not that I'm condoning violence against animals, um, but come on, it's Jaws. Come on. You have Bruce hanging there. We've seen him throughout Azeroth. He's not unique, but it's unique in the village. And this is just an adorable little fishing village. I'm down for this. I think this is cute. So if you just enjoy fishing in game, or if this is part of your character's backstory for roleplay, I think this is really fun. And I just love that natural arch right there. And you do see that little tucked away plot that I mentioned I had missed before because I had never seen anybody built on it before. But this is a really cool view in here. Like I don't know about you, but I dig this. I think it's really neat. Always think about what's outside the plot area and what do you want to look at? What supports your character's story? Okay, we have a few more beach sandy plots before we make our way inland and see some of the more kind of desert stuff. You can see some of the foliage in the background, more deserty. We've got some cacti back there. Um, so this is kind of the start of that, to be honest, right here. So if you like the red rock aesthetic, you still have some of the beach sounds. I can hear the waves. This is plot number 3. You're getting more of the bird noises that you find more inland, but you're definitely getting the red rock aesthetic here while still having kind of a beach house. This is like the best of both worlds kind of plot, which I really kind of like. Let's see about your neighbors. It doesn't look like you have any. Yeah, no, that's one of the fake construction sites. That is a biome community hub I'm looking at straight ahead with that circle on the ground and the faux building. You don't have any neighbors except to the front. So this is one of those plots I think is underrated. It looks like it's in the middle of everything, but you're not really going to see. You don't even see that house over there with that big old rock and tree in the way. So that blocks that house. This house is going to be visible and that house is going to be visible. But because your elevation's higher, it's really not a big deal. You're still gonna have really lovely views here. Okay, I like this little outcropping. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to build on it because it's not inside your little fence area. But you do get to use it. It's yours. Now, one of my favorite things to do in housing is to break things. I tend to do that. I like to push the limits on what I'm allowed to do, and sometimes I can break things and do stuff with decor and do stuff with housing like outside the plot, which everyone's like, "How did you do that?" I break things. It's within the game's parameters, but you find a way around it. I'm sure Blizz is gonna love me. I'm sure someone will report me the second they see something weird, say I'm hacking the game or something. I'm just using creative game mechanics. That's all. But I would be so tempted to try to break it and try to build out here. I'd probably make it my mission if I did. I like this plot a lot. Plus, behind you, you get more of the deserty stuff. Yeah, this is one of those right between the biome areas. So you get the best of both worlds. And down here, I like this as well. Just a small little area, all your own, covered, a little bit secluded. You will have to share it with the plot over here, though. This is number 5. Okay, so number 5 gets this great rock arch in this little nook area. You're right on the ocean, and you get all the tropical blue vibes. Cute little barrier, helping make sure that your beach doesn't erode. And this little bridge. This is really cozy. I like this one a lot too. Because of the placement of the rock, you're going to be blocked from seeing that person's house over there. See how clever they are? They do that all over this place. So the only house you really see is that one straight ahead, but there's a tree in the way. Honestly, they've done a really great job of making it so that you don't necessarily have to see all of your neighbor's plot in case they start building ugly things. Um, like if I were to get one of these beachside plots, I would want it to be a beach themed outside, but you never know. Somebody might, want to create a dance club outside their house. You don't know. And there's little to no HOA here to tell them no. So, as much as you want to be social with people, you never know what they're going to build. And it could break your immersion. All right. So now we're on plot number 1. Plot number 1, right on the ocean, a little bit higher in elevation. And you still have the background of the red rocks in the desert. Little boat there tied to a post. See much too special about this one. That's not, very similar to the ones next to it. But I do like that it has this deck. Little wraparound porch. I wish we could put some chairs on it or something. Or I wish Blizzard would go back and populate some of these porches a little bit better because we can't build on them. Please do that. I think it's a lovely feature. I think it's really pretty. It does make this plot unique to have this look to it. And you have this beach over here. This is all off of your plot. So you can come down here, take a seat, smell a fish. What is that doing there? We'll not RP that part. But this is going to be really, really nice to watch the sunset on as well. It'll be in that direction. Okay, down here, another wide dock, and we are at number. I have to wait for the signpost, the cornerstone to load in. 13. Okay, so let's see. What's great about 13? Well, the ocean waves. I keep listening to them. We have an interesting dock here, a little bit of fishing decor, and you're going to be overlooking this community area. No one can build on this island. That's straight ahead. You can see there's a flight path over there. You can see the tail flicking. We have a tower ahead, a great big dock, and there's a faux construction site in the middle, which again tells me they're going to build something there. We just don't know what or when, but it's a large area already swathed off just for Blizzard to do something with eventually. But it's a nice view. I love that big bridge over there. You have a distance waterfall over there. And I don't want to underscore, like, what I'm trying to say is that like these fires here look really, really nice at night. So you'll see 2 fireplaces across the street at the community place and one here on your dock. Again, this is decor you don't have to put down a lighting source, but it's already here for you to use. And it emits such a warm glow that at night it looks really, really pretty. Whenever I get to the Alliance section, you'll be able to see um, the windows of the Alliance buildings in the major cities. Like they light up, they glow beautifully. They start glowing around sunset time and they get brighter and brighter and brighter until the full night sky kicks in. They're so pretty. And whenever you see stuff lit up at night, especially this kind of tropical vibe, very Pirates of the Caribbean kind of thing, it's beautiful. So this community area across the street, even though I said like there's like a faux construction site, like Yeah, that's like not the best to look at, but at the same time, it doesn't look bad. It's just a placeholder, and you do get to enjoy all the other spaces that are beautifully laid out. So the warm glow of the fire, big fan. And this plot has this village on the side of it. No player can build here. This is just for community. So here we have some kind of restaurant kind of style seating, some vendors, and this is going to be populated with more NPCs, just like we see here. You see Horakai. But as many NPCs as they're going to put in, they're also going to leave a lot of empty spaces. So if you want to RP as an NPC, you can. I imagine this might get a little bit more fleshed out. Maybe not. Cute little cut up here. But if this matches kind of your vibe, like you want to be close to things happening, this is going to look so good at night lit up with all the glow, and you have the glow across the street and even on your dock. Like just think about how you want to use the spaces around where you decide to make your home. And I like this plot because of that. And this one was number 13. Okay, just a few more sand ones, I promise. Like I said, they gave us a lot of beach houses. They really want to think that everyone wants a beach house. And maybe they're right. Next on to 14. All right, so this one also has a really nice view of the community area that's going to be lit up and more built out over time, I imagine. All the lovely water, the wave sounds. You have your own little bridge that no one else gets to use. Well, they can technically, but yeah. Onto your own little tiny little island over here. I like that it gives some variety. So you have that plot and this own little tiny thing. You won't be able to build on this, but you get to enjoy it. And a lovely ocean view. So sunset's this way, but it's still a nice view. And you get the waterfall over here, closer to that. And if you want to look up and see the kind of autumn like pines, you get a little bit more of a mountain view on this one. Sand plot. Ooh, now we're on to the orange kind of red rock. This has a more unique L-shaped bridge at the staircase going down. I love the lighting. You'll see more of this lighting up in this section up here when I go to that. Somebody's already taken this plot. You have a lot of waterfalls around you. I can see this one being popular. Oh, kicked me out. This plot is 8. So you're going to have more of the desert like, so less palm tree. Of course, there's palm trees down on the islands, but this particular plot is unique in that it is the red rock aesthetic with the desert biome, but technically still on the ocean. So another one of those transitional best of both worlds. You want to be on the ocean, but you don't really want to build on sand, then you might really, really like this one. I'm almost a little sad to leave the wave noises. They're so relaxing. But this one also has its own kind of walkway all the way up to the market area. We'll go ahead inland. That's a non-player house. Did I miss any? Oh yes, I have to go back to inland because there's a few of these plots, and then we get to look at the hot springs. There are only 2 hot springs plots, and I think they're going to go right away. So this vibe is so cool. So if you live in the desert areas, like I do in the U.S., like this kind of vegetation just feels really nice because I'm used to it. The short, squatty, shrubby trees, get a lot of cacti, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have color. I mean, you can see all the flowers here. It's really pretty. If you want a landscape in this style, like big fan of this. I think this is great. Um, there's even some agaves on the ground I've seen. Oh, we get some succulents here. It's just a different vibe. And if that's how you want to landscape the outside of your house and you want it to blend into your surroundings, then maybe these are the houses for you. These are more limited though. A lot less of these than in the other biomes. So right here we have a construction site. They're holding on to this. I don't know what for. It's got amazing views. I mean, I would want to build here if I had an opportunity to. I mean, look at that. That's great. but there's a small community hub here. As I said, there's the big community hub that is back in the common area in the center. There's a common area. But out here in these smaller biomes, they have these as well. And I don't know what they're going to do with them. So there's generally going to be a flight path around here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. There's a flight path right here. Ooh, they started putting water in things. Yesterday there was not water in half of the troughs or the bathtubs or the sinks. Maybe they started doing that. Alpha's fun like that. You get to watch them do stuff in real time. So let's try to find some of these plots. So that's a little common area. Yeah, we got some plots back here. A little social fire pit area for you and your neighbors to kind of sit around, tell stories. And this one is number 10. You're surrounded by the stacked rocks. You still have a really cool ocean view behind you, but you get this kind of desert, like all the desert flora and fauna, which is really pretty. Oh, I like this one a lot. If I were to get one in this area, I think this one might be it. It's so high that you're not seeing any of the beach houses below you, really. Nobody can build across the street because that's a designated kind of construction area right now. Your only neighbor, I think, is right here. Just somebody across the street. Oh, and you have your own pond. Yeah, this is an underrated plot. It really is. I think people are gonna pass over it, not realizing how good it is until they like get down to the ground and walk around and be like, "Oh, dang, yeah, this is really nice. You have your own little pond right here." Okay, and across the street from you, you would have plot number 34. There's the common area. Oh, we have another one of those little circular things. So you're very close to town, so you'll be able to pick up your decor treasure hunting quest. And a refresher for those who were not in part one, this is what we're looking for. We need to solve the riddle to find the buried treasure to get our free decor piece. And today's free decor piece is a razor wind wall mirror. Okay. I'm allowed to do this on both Horde and Alliance, so I can do it twice today. That's what I'm looking for. An old watering hole, take a swing or take a dive, hold your breath and dig. Okay, hold your breath and dig. I think that tells me that maybe it might be underwater, right? Take a swing or take a dive. Now, we've already seen one diving board, the tallest diving board in the area, but I do know there's a rope swing. I'll show it to you. So maybe it's at the rope swing, an old watering hole. Okay. As you're flying around, you're going to look for a big mound of dirt with a yellow outline. It's very easy to see. So if you're just flying around, you just can't solve the damn thing. You'll find it eventually if you just keep flying around and keep your eyes open. And the map does look pretty big, right? But it's really not that big when you're flying around it, honestly. To me, it's not. But it does have an awful lot of flight paths, doesn't it? Okay, so back to this one, plot 34. You are closer to the hub, so you can get your quest easy, and you have access to the dye vendor, the furniture vendors, and any of the other things that you might need for housing are going to be primarily in the hub. And you're going to have a view of the city, though. So this is as close as it gets, really, to a city view in these kinds of places. Everything is so natural here, and we're all communing with nature. And we forget that some people really do, like to be downtown. And so this is Horde Town. So if you want your quote unquote city view, this is it. But you still have tons of waterfalls trickling all the way down. You get to see that from your plot here. That's a really, really lovely view of the golden pines, the amber looking pines. So if you like that view out the side with the mountains, got that in one direction, and then you have the tropical stuff through this direction. My gosh, you got a view of everything from this one. Huh. Okay. Again, if you are going to be building with just two people, maybe you want to be across the street from somebody, be a nice one for you. Okay, there's not going to be any plots closer to town. This looks like it could be a plot because of the shape of it. Ooh, it is. The fence just loaded in. So there isn't even close. Okay, this is the only plot that is this close to the city common area. Because we're not allowed to build in here, right? We can't live in there. but this is the only plot that backs up to it. And if you wanted to add red rocks to it and kind of wall it off a little bit, but then leave it open to the town, then this is the only plot that you can pretend like you live in town with. Okay, I think I missed this one before. See, every time I come here, I find something new. This is plot number 16. All right. Well, I love this for whoever wants to RP that, or if somebody wants to feel like they're in the city. This is yours. Get it. Get it. And you still have an ocean view. This cute little outrock. Oh, and you have a view of the geysers. All right, we got to go over there. I'm not going to tease it anymore. We're going over to the hot springs. After this one, I'll tell you what this one is. See? I'm like a squirrel. I will just like see something and just be like, attention deficit, go. All right. 47. All right, somebody chose this one. It's not going to feel like you're in the city, but you're right outside of it. You're surrounded by all these stacked rocks. You have roads around here. Now, I will tell you, on the Alliance side, I was able to jump on a roaming cart that would just drive around the whole thing. And I haven't seen it since I jumped on it. So I know that there's going to be vehicles going on these winding roads, and it's going to make the neighborhood feel really alive, which I love. I'm sorry, I didn't even notice somebody asked a question. My bad. That was probably like 2 hours ago, right? Um, will we see some decorating later? I absolutely can. Part one that I did right before this one, I'm kind of breaking them up into chunks because these neighborhoods are very large. I did start inside. So if you want to see just a little bit of building, go ahead and start part one, and you'll see that. There's really not a whole lot to do in building right now, to be totally honest. If you watched other streamers or other like really big content creators that had access to this stuff and they've been sharing all that with the public, it seems they had a lot more than I have in alpha. So, not gonna lie, I'm like a little disappointed. I'm like, wait, how come I don't have that tool? Wait a second, well, how come this isn't working for me? So they were able to do more in their previews than I'm able to do in alpha, which is a little silly. But I get it. What they do in alpha is they leak us tiny bits of things at a time. I've done this a couple times before. So, of course, never with housing. This is our first time. But they'll just give us a certain set of things, and they want to see how we as players, non developers, react to the sequence of getting things done, whether there were things that blocked us, which, spoiler, I blocked myself on day one by doing something. I ran into the housing area and picked my plot first thing, and then I got stuck because I didn't complete the initial quest, and part of that quest was to purchase a house. So I already bought my house, then the quest wouldn't complete because it asked me to purchase a house and I was blocked. So I had to wait for them to clear me so that I can continue on. So this is what we do in alpha. But I can place things, I can rotate them, I can play with dies, I can place things down. You can only really place about 50 items right now before you hit cap, and you don't really own a lot of items, so it's not too exciting to watch. But I do go through a little of it in part one, and I absolutely can go back and maybe I'll just do my own stream for singular building where people can just watch me build a little bit. But what's more exciting to me right now, of course, is going through each of these plots and helping all of you who are just as excited about housing as I am, helping all of you just kind of like get a glimpse as to like, ooh, I like number 18, or ooh, I think I really want number 41. Or maybe you make a list of the ones that you like and then you go check out all of them and then make your final decision. Don't feel bad though if you feel like you can't find yours, because they do open new instances up all the time. So on Alpha, there's only 5 instances of the neighborhoods right now. And if you can't find yours because it's not open, well, you just go to another one and then you try to find it there and see if it's open. And then you visit it and it'll automatically pull you over to that instance and you can claim it. It'll even reserve it for 5 minutes while you take a look at it and make sure that that's the server you want to be on. I know that's going to get a little hard with people who want to build in a group. You're all going to have to make sure that you're on the same realm. You're all going to make sure that you want your ideal plot, but get like a handful of plots that you'd be okay with, so that you're not, heartbroken if you don't get the one. But personally, I think I kind of, even though I do have a group of people I'd like to build with, I think I want to try to talk them into going public and like rolling the dice and trying to for everybody to get their favorite ones on a public one. Um, just because I want to make new friends. And how am I supposed to make friends in a private neighborhood? I love housing. I want to meet other people who are just as crazy about this as I am. Oh, by the way, I am curious what other games you all have done housing in. I did primarily WildStar, and that was like my bread and butter. But I know lots and lots of games out there have tons of different housing styles, and I don't know how this is going to stack up to other people's housing experiences. So, okay, this one, sorry, tangents. Back to 47. So someone's already here. Let me see if I can go inside. Nope. It's going to kick me out. Everybody's privacy settings are set to private automatically. So unless you open up your settings and turn it public, I can't get in. So I like this house because it's got a lot of cacti around it, which, not gonna lie, this is just so super cute. And they're all blooming, of course. Cacti blooms are rare, if you know anything about that. We have whole fields of cacti where I live that have yellow flowers, and they only bloom for a few weeks, and they're so gorgeous. And to have these forever blooming is just kind of nice. So I love the aesthetic of these. But this one has this little extra alcove. It's just a porch. There's not a whole lot on it, but there's a seating area. And so if you want to, you know that you're going to be hosting a lot of people and maybe you don't want them in your house, you can just pop over here and use this one. There's not a plot here, so you're pretty secluded, honestly. You back straight up to the rocks. This is just a public space. Honestly, kind of secluded. There's no one really building around you. I think there's somebody building up here that can look down on you. But other than that, there's someone behind you, but they're not really going to see you with that road in the way. This one's actually pretty damn private. And it has this beautiful deserty aesthetic. Okay, as promised. Geysers. We have a hot springs. I love this. This is the cutest. Okay, and this is where another one of the diving boards are. If you remember, our treasure hunt was to either take a swing or take a dive. So it's possible that it could be over here. It doesn't look like it is. Because I can see straight through that water and I don't see any dirt mounds down there. But how cute is this? Come on. The hot springs. This looks very pretty at night. I see a little bit of a rainbow iridescent reflection in the water there. I don't know if it's coming up on your screen or not. We have cabanas. We got Torin sitting in a chair over there by their lonesome. But we got tiki drinks, cabanas. Just just really, really cool. And I love these spouting geysers. They stop and start again pretty frequently. But listening to the water sounds, it's just great. It's really great. And got a little bit of a waterfall over here. This is a fun area. It's right in the center, like right south of the common area for Horde. I see a lot of people coming here, just like I see a lot of people coming to this island out here. There's an island that's a good community hub as well, for people to just sit and RP and pretend you're all in a community bath. I really like this area. Now, you can look down on it from those plots up top on the top of these plateaus, or you can live off of it. This one's my favorite one because you have your own private hot spring off the side of it. Not really private, anybody can go in it, but it's right off of your house. This one's 29. So you have a little bit of a hot spring here, right off the side. You can build up to it and kind of, if you create like a pathway going down to it until, the edge of the fence, um, you make it look like it's a part of your build. And you get to look out at the geysers going on and off. You could just step out your door and look and see how crowded it is if you're into RP and you just want to see, hey, where's everyone hanging out? Is the hot springs hopping today? I'm gonna just go over there. I love the geysers. I think they're so great. Then there you have a little tiny area over here, the salamander, scary salamander in the shade. Not really sure what you want to use for this, but it's kind of neat. That's right off of your plot as well. Beautiful view of the stacked rocks. You will maybe, no, maybe not. I think the housing plot on top of that is really pushed back. They'll be able to look out over you, but I don't think you're going to see much of that house. There's nobody really behind you. Well, way behind you. Up top here is it. So this top plateau, let me get the number of this if I didn't do it already. 48 overlooks the hot springs, but you're not going to see the house below, really, because the way the elevation works, it kind of crops it out. Beautiful, beautiful view of that. You still got the ocean beyond. This is where the sun sets in this direction. So you're going to have a nice sunset view. And you still got the ocean over here. This plot's really cool. It has everything in it. Just take a look around. Not a whole lot of tall trees or anything in your way, so you'll have to put those there yourself if you want to block anything you don't want to look at particularly. You can landscape stuff out of it. But the second the second one is a lot closer, and this one is number. See, totally your real estate agent today. Let me know if there's any plots that you already think in your head that you wanna reserve. This one's 40, right off of the water. You have this little area here you can sit on and observe everybody as if you're lifeguard. I don't know if you want to RP and pretend like you work here. There is a lifeguard stand over here. You can set up and pretend to yell at people to get out of the water. Uh, yeah, this is a really cool one too. I think that these two hot spring ones, even though they're not taken on this server, and I don't think people have realized how cool this looks like at night and throughout the different skybox cycles as they go throughout the day into the evening into the night, how cool this looks. And I also think that people are kind of sleeping on this like orange red rock aesthetic and the desert stuff. I think they're not fully appreciating it, but once you add more of this greenery onto your own plot in contrast to the red, they're really going to be beautiful. So this plot also has a pathway to the ocean. We have a tower, one of many, and we have a little peek over here at Bruce. So you can walk down to the clear water. I just want to jump in it. Like IRL, anytime I see like clear water, I'm like so tempted. Whether it's real water or like, chlorinated fountain water, I'm just like, I want to jump in the water. This is just really tempting for me. It's a very different side on Alliance, to be honest. It's a dark water, like think New England, where you really can't see through the water, even though it's only, a foot deep. You can barely see through it. It's murky, kind of like that. So very, very different vibe. So think to yourself, do you like Clearwater? Do you like the New England vibe? And that's maybe where you want to choose where you're going to get your plot. So yeah. Hi Bruce. We'll come back here. I think we've done almost this whole dang thing. All that's left is the top. We're going to go find that rope swing maybe. Yeah, we're going to go to the Ashara land. I forgot what it's called. We'll find out whenever I zone into that area. I just keep calling it Ashara because that's the aesthetic of it. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, at night, it is beautiful. At sunset, it is stunning. The sky around sunset just turns from like this yellow into a purple. It is not something I expected them to choose, but they did, and it is just great. Cragthorn Highlands. All right. This is calling me. As much as I want a goblin home over in all the tropical area, this is calling me as well. I guess maybe it's like the night elf in me that just wants to kind of come up here. So we're going to have more of a fall aesthetic, purple, yellows, oranges, and reds. It's really, really pretty. So I hear the Hills music already going in my head. I don't know about you. I would totally play that up here. All right. This plot is number 4. So plot number 4 has a really good view of where we were just at. So if you still want to look at the red rocks and the desert vibe, you want some water, you still get that view. You can kind of see town from here. So it's one of those in between the biomes where you get a little bit of everything, if that's what you're looking for. I don't know about you, but I kind of want to be immersed in whatever biome like I choose, but that's just me. But if you want to see a little bit of everything, you also have the ocean. Not a bad plot at all. It is elevated, so the roads are going to be down a little bit. So it'll make you feel like you're not, entirely surrounded by roads. But it is kind of cute whenever you see one of the carts go by. I have not seen a horde cart, and I don't know what their little traveling carts are going to look like. This is a pair of 2 plots across from each other, so I hope you like your neighbor. You are going to probably see them. This plot is number 21. So very similar to the one that we were just on. You get waterfall in your backyard though, so just a little bit more to have this. I've said it before and I will say it again. There is not a bad plot in the neighborhood. If you get stuck with the last plot out of, however many are in the neighborhood, the last plot because you're in a guild and everybody's taken them all, you can find something special about every plot you see. And then you just play that up. There is something unique and cool about every single plot. This is one of the more barren ones. But I think what's special about this one is that you get to see so much of it, and that the pines are not necessarily obscuring your view of the rest of the biomes from this one. So you get to see far and wide here. And this one, you get the waterfall, cute little waterfall. I feel like I need to take you back to the Four Sisters. So as I mentioned before, I've been on alpha for since it's been open just a couple of days. I've seen what plots people have taken first consistently. So I will tell you which ones are popular. But that doesn't mean that they're the best. There are some ones that people are sleeping on, I'm telling you. But this one is taken on all of them. We'll go straight to the waterfalls. So if you told people you got the Four Sisters waterfall plot, Cragthorn Highlands, people are going to know exactly what you were talking about. So we'll go straight to the back and then I'll work my way up. This is it. To be honest, I don't know why they call it Four Sisters. There's three falls. Maybe I'm missing one. But how pretty is that? So we got our own like Niagara Falls moment back here. And so you could see why this house right here, everybody wants it. But because you are right here and because it's such a pretty scenery, you might get a lot of foot traffic. You might get a lot of, people coming up here. And if you don't want people coming up here, well, you might get a little bit, raise your fist, get off my lawn about it. But if you like people coming up here and you want to come out and be social and talk to people, then definitely pick one of these more popular plots. So the waterfall plot is number 46. I'll see if I can go inside. It kicks me out. Nope. When I'm trying to go into these houses, by the way, it's actually very hard to click on the door. The entire door's surface does not let you in, and I keep having to try to use my cursor to hit the very, very bottom of the door to get the gear in order to go in. I hope they fix that because it's kind of annoying. So this is the waterfall plot. Another bonus feature is that you get to come down here and you have your own little deck right in front of him. And I love it when people build with humor. So you see that target across the way with the spears sticking out of it, and then like the spears here. I just thought that was so cute. Anytime you can tell a story through your build, I am there for it. Is like the best thing. I love seeing because I can tell what they were thinking when they put this together and what kind of story they were trying to tell with it. So I love that. I think that's super cute. That's the waterfall plot. And you don't really have any neighbors here. Very secluded. So you have the bridge going over the water, and across the way is going to be a big communal area. Nobody's allowed to build here yet, unless they take out the faux construction and plop a plot here. Which, my gosh, come on! If this was your plot, who wouldn't want this plot just for this view alone? So yeah, I think they do that on purpose. They take the best spots. But for some reason, they outfitted this little deck with like a little restaurant area. It's so cozy, so beautiful. You get to see the waterfalls back there, all the different color, warm fall. I love this vibe. Love it. I could totally just play an NPC and serve people from back here. I would do that. I don't mind being that person who does the bartending or the cooking. I think it's fun. And serving people as they sit at tables in RP. This is such a lovely, lovely plot at night. So check out these jars, these lights. They glow beautifully at night, and this is the only biome that has them. So if you're into nighttime vibes, this is your space. It's stunning out here, especially because all the walkways, as you see over here, have fire and it glows really pretty. None of the other places have consistent lighting like this on the walkways. So very different vibe. I almost feel like they put a lot of attention here, and then realized, oh, we need to hurry up, and they didn't put as much attention maybe down in the other areas that I hope they get to, because some of the things that they've done in the Highlands just I could tell they took a little extra time with it. All right, so this is 31. If you can't get the waterfall plot, no matter what you do, and you're hovering over the open house finder looking for new neighborhoods for like 3 weeks and you still can't get that damn house, please consider this one. Um, you are across the street from those really pretty glowing lights in the little restaurant, which I hope they just get rid of that construction site and put something really cool there. And then you're really close to everyone being social. You get to look down the way and you do get a peek at the waterfalls still. Not that you can't just fly out and enjoy them anyway, but I know some people really, really want to view. This is a great plot. On the other side of it, I thought they would put like another one, right? Looks like there's enough room for another one, but they didn't. They put this big giant tree in the way in case you don't really want to look at what's over here. But this is just another community area. It's not really it's built up, but there's not really a whole lot of like decor going on back here. What I do really like about it is this cute little leaking dam. I mean, how great is that? I saw this and I was inspired to build another game. I was like, oh, I should do that. That's really cool. Oh, we have a friend over here. Hi, Nikita. I know them. They just happen to be here on Alpha here with me. Okay, so again, nothing across the street. This looks like there should be a plot here too, but they didn't. I do get the feeling that if they have the capacity to, that they might add to existing neighborhoods. Well, we'll see. Okay, where is the plaque for this one? Hmm, don't see it. Do you? Playing Dora Explorer over here. Here it is. It's right there. 45. Okay. What's special about 45? You have this little tiny little makeshift bridge over the creek. I don't know why I find that incredibly cute. But you also have this overlook of the city. So when that is lit up at night and it looks beautiful, I'm just going to keep calling it city because it's the big common area. This is just a really cool place just to sit and observe that and enjoy that view while you have the water noises of the waterfall. And you do have a tower like right off your plot. So if that meets some RP requirement, if you can work that into your story, or if you just like the look of it, you don't get to build inside of it, but you do get to use it. Um, yeah, so if you like the view and you still want to be in the Highlands, this plot's going to be for you. And then you turn around and then you have all the beautiful nature. So some of the animals you're going to see are the wild boars. Across the street, behind this big tree, which number is this? Oh, this is a good one. I considered this one because I thought it was great. This is plot number 20. So all of these kind of stuff in the distance, like I've got my settings turned way up. You can see that they're mostly shadow, and that actually looks really nice. But you can see off in the distance, we've got oranges right now into the blue sky. So this area in Craigthorne Highlands, like, has such a different skybox to anything else in this entire Horde zone. Well, it has this little deck on the back of it. Don't worry about that brown stuff. It's just some issues in rendering. It goes away when you purchase your plot. So you have this great deck that already has decor on it. You don't have to worry about using up your decor limit. Really, really great view. I actually kind of like that the pines are way across the way there on the top of those plateau plots areas because it kind of blends it when you're looking out. It still blends it with the aesthetic that you're actually living in. And below this, tucked away, is this tiny little area. Tell me shenanigans are not happening down here. Come on, this is like secret meeting territory. I love this. I think this is great. And again, you didn't have to build it. You just get to use it. It's right off of your plot. So I think this one's really special for that reason. I'm a big fan. I have considered getting this plot just because it's stunning. So if I decide not to go full goblin, this is where I might be. And right down here you have a small little market. So you are close to that. This is pretty fleshed out, to be honest. It's like a little area with foods and little intimate table settings. A lot of people underestimate that when you're building. When you have such a large scale project, you want to build things that are kind of tiny and nook like, and then it instantly brings your character down and you have to zoom in and it feels more intimate. Like that's really special, like when those little moments happen. Just some of the psychology behind building. But don't be afraid of small spaces, especially when you're trying to fill a large one. It's hard to do. It really is. I love all the decor. I cannot wait to play with this. I'm a big fan. All the different foods. Mm, I'm excited. I hope you all are too. All right, down here we get to chase off all the hippogriffs. See ya. Sorry, I swear I'm not a terror in real life. I would never terrorize animals, but in games I absolutely do that. Um, okay, 53. 53 is just as beautiful. You have even more scenery than that last plot, and you get to see all the beach houses because there's nothing in your way. Like you don't even get a deck here, which is fine. You don't need a deck if you just want like a natural ending. Just go over the cliff there. It's like the infinity pool. Just like no edge, just go straight off. It is really nice, and you don't really see the person that or the plot that we were just looking at because it's like way up there in elevation. There is someone right next to you over here, though. Again, this is a rendering issue, but for this plot in particular, 53, you're across the street from the market, and maybe you want to RP that you're working here. Maybe this plays into your character's story, or you just like to see something, outside that looks like life. You just don't want to be completely surrounded by just trees and just waterfalls. This is a nice little hub here. This badly rendering brown swath of foundation here would be plot number 52. Again, I promise it clears up whenever you purchase a home and it goes here. 52 is cool because you have your own little rounded porch. And this is the plot that if I was going to purchase here, I strongly was considering because of this, only because of this. It has an ocean view, but you get the jar lights and you have your own little entertaining area that's already all decored out. And so you can just have people here. And right on the edge, you have a bench and a waterfall. Like, I think out of all the plots on this entire neighborhood, with the adjacent stuff that you want to consider when you're picking something, this is one of the coolest ones. Like, I'm a huge fan of this plot. I think it's great, and I think that the fact that nobody's taken it is because maybe they haven't gone over the edge and realized what's down there. So I'll tell you what this one was again. This one is 52. And if there's a pair of you building, I mean, this is a hell of a pair side by side. I mean, I would do that, especially if you're RPing and you don't always want to be online, but somebody else is like you're tag teaming, keeping a restaurant open over here. You can do that. I want to consider all of everyone's needs, whether you're just a raider or just a casual player. But oh god, there's so many little tiny nooks and crannies for RP players. So I'm sorry if I keep talking about that, and that's not really what you want to hear. Or maybe I'm inspiring you to RP. Who knows? All right, this one we have is 42. Needed another look at this. Great ocean view. It's the middle of the day and we kind of got sunset vibes. I'm not sure what's going on with this bright orange, but maybe they'll tweak that. At nighttime, the purples though, I'm telling you, it's stunning. Maybe I'll have to do a nighttime stream just so everyone gets to see the different lighting. Okay, down here, someone's claimed this, number 35. All the bluffs, all the peaks, lots of hippogriffs out here swarming the tallest peaks. If you like to see nature, like kind of feel off on your own out here. I see something out there not quite rendering. I wonder what that is. Maybe I'll have to swim out there sometime. I won't now though. Can we get in this person's house? Yes, we can. God, look at the old school screen, right? That's a throwback. Okay, so this person, they've set some windows up. They got a staircase that goes upstairs. We can check that out. But they put a room right off the side. This is one of the smaller rooms, which I actually appreciate because we don't have that much decor at the start. So you can see we don't really have a whole lot to put down right now. To a back large room. You'll recognize that music, right? Who doesn't know that music? I'm under the impression that we'll all be able to change our music inside the houses. Stairwell and up into a bedroom and a little side closet. This is actually called closet, this little tiny little nothing. It's funny because I my layouts in one of my houses is pretty much similar. They look huge right now, and you can't really put that much down until you level up the house. So it's going to take a lot of decor to fill it and make it feel like you're living in it. But that was nice. That person figured out the how to take it off private. All right, we're almost done. I promise. We're almost done, and I'll get to the Alliance one later. All right, this is plot 38. No one's taken this one on this server. Very similar views, but you get to see your neighbor over there, and there's another little space over there tucked away. I'll show you soon. I like this plot. This one's very special. Again, let me give you the number 38. I got to remember that. This one's really special because it's next to the outdoor spa. So if you just want access to the outdoor spa or you want to pretend like you're running this, go for it. And the bathtubs aren't filled with water yet. Literally bathtubs with this view. Very, very cute with little bars of soap. Barely fit my big torn butt in there. It's a place to sit. And up here is a little massage table, except we're missing the hot stones in the water in that barrel. But yeah, we have an outdoor spa here. I totally can see somebody who buys this plot right here making their building into a spa, like to run a business. I totally can see that happening, and it would be the perfect one because you can blend it straight into what's out here. And there's another plot right next door, so this person could do the same thing if they wanted to. There's a little pathway, but it's blocked by by the um, the massage tables. So you could do this one if you couldn't find the other one open, or maybe you wanted to tag team run this one as well for RP. I know some Americans and Europeans will take shifts for keeping RP open. So people are really dedicated to this. So this one's plot 23, right next door to the open spa, except you get water. You got water on one side and a little bit of waterfall back here. No, water on both sides actually. You're kind of in a V here. That's lovely. All right, I'm into that one. Not literally though. Their privacy settings just kicked me out again. And did we? Yep, there's a flight path up here, so very close to the flight path. What else do we have over here? We're at the open market area. I think the last place to go on the Horde community is just back here. Two more plots. This one and the one beyond it. So I don't see many people taking this one, plot 15. But you do have a view of your neighbor right there, unless you line up the tree just right. Again, they're clever in their placement. They're going to try to hide people so you're not staring straight at somebody else's build too much. A nice view, just kind of out of the way. But this string of three, well, technically four if we go down to this one. Uh, if you have a group of four that you're playing with and you really like the spa vibe and you like being up in the Highlands and kind of being away from stuff, this is where you'll want to be. All right, last one. This is a popular one. I've never seen this one empty. So what that's telling me is everyone on Alpha right now is a loner, and we all want to be in the far away ones. So this one is 39. This one might be a little hard to get because this is where the aesthetic is, totally away from everybody. This plot, you will see all those plots that are straight across the way there. You're going to see people. So you're not going to feel like you're too far away, but you're just secluded just enough in the other privacy settings. Every time you hit it, it stuns you and puts you back to the cornerstone. Little annoying when I'm going to want to check out people's houses. All right. And this is really more of those jar lights that look so good at night. It's a little area to sit on. And I do like this down here. You've got a little date area, a little picnic, and you are truly away from everything. This is the furthest north and the furthest east you can get. To be away from everyone. Okay. Did anybody want to see any plot in more detail? Or have any questions or want me to do anything else Horde side before I stop this one and go Alliance in a bit? or any questions about housing that I might be able to answer, go ahead and toss them up in chat before I stop. And the whole purpose of this stream was to just give you all a glimpse as to the different properties that are available, for you to consider, all the little things that you might want to consider for your choice, whether it's the, the different types of vegetation that's around, the different animals that are around, the skybox could have an impact. I don't know which one's going to tell your story by what plot you choose. I can't wait to see people's builds. Seeing people's creativity is just, it inspires me. I know that there's people out there that see people who are really good builders and they get discouraged, and that's just not in me. I get super excited. Oh, clipping into some grass there. People having a picnic. There's going to be more storytelling too. I know when Blizzard puts down the NPCs that there's going to be um, like little scenes set that you can kind of walk into. Oh my, I just remembered. I know there's a plot with a swing. Where's that? I missed it somewhere. If you remember, take a swing or take a dive. There's a plot with this swing. I know there is because I saw the string and I walked over to it and I was wishing there was going to be a gear that lights up that lets me swing and it didn't. It doesn't work. But there's absolutely a rope swing somewhere. Oh, I gotta find it. Now I'm sad I didn't find it. Like I said, I've been through these neighborhoods so much and I'm still finding new things the more I explore. I swear it was back here. Oh, so I'm still looking for that treasure. Haven't found it yet, and I've been all over this place. Oh, you're welcome for the tour. I'm glad you can help. I am gonna get into Alliance. If any of you who are watching have like any specific things that you're looking for, I can already steer you in that direction. Like you want something more night elf, or which there's very few things that could be considered night elf in the Alliance side. If you want something that has any specific characteristics to it, let me know. I can absolutely point you in the right direction. Okay, well, if there's no questions, welcome to check out the part one where I go over the other sections you didn't see in this one. I will gonna do the Alliance live, and hopefully I'm gonna find my decor treasure. I don't want to get off. I don't want to get off this side until I find it. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe you can tune in later. Bye, all. Happy housing.